Sir, do you know why I pulled you over?
Speeding?
No, it's because your intro sucks. Please step out onto the curbside.
Hey everyone, welcome to another week of the Curbside Podcast, the podcast where we talk about cars and everything to do with cars. My name is Jeff. I drive a 2004 Honda S2000 and I am your Taiwanese American Southern Californian.
Good morning, everybody. Hey, Jeff. My name's Parth, and I drive a 2016 M3. We're out here.
Yay!
What was the yay about?
I don't know.
Week 9.
Oh yes, that's a good thing. Week nine.
Yeah.
We have done 9 weeks of this.
Yeah.
Thank you all for all those who've been listening to us.
Yeah.
It's always a good feeling when you say like, "Hey, this is a good podcast show thing."
Who said that?
One of my buddies.
Oh, good. I was like, nobody told me this shit.
I'm not making this up, I promise.
Okay, good. Because I was like, nobody told me anything.
Anyways, Parth.
Yes.
So, I want to start off today talking about... This is actually a topic that one of my buddies, Andrew, brought up, and it is a new startup. Have you heard of the startup called Canoe?
Is that the one where you can, like, buy cars in a different way?
Well, it's not really buying cars. So Canoe is a new startup company based in California. And it's basically, if you look at the cars they're making, there's kind of like this electric van looking thing.
Uh-huh.
It's meant to be autonomous, obviously. And you look inside, it kind of reminds me of the VW bus
Okay.
back from the day, but like modernized and more spacious and airy. But the interesting thing about this isn't that, isn't particularly the van and whatnot itself. It's actually the way you own the car. And the way you own the car is that you don't own the car.
Uh-huh. Okay.
What it says here is membership, not ownership. 1 monthly price, no hassles, no... And then it gets cut off but it basically is that you pay a monthly cost, and then it basically is kind of like a ride share or something. You don't own the car yourself, but if you want it, it shows up to your house and it takes you where you want to go.
Yeah.
So with this, I really wanted to talk about this whole idea of car ownership in general.
Uh-huh.
Well, let's start off by saying this. Do you like owning your car?
I mean, yeah, because it's yours, right? You can do whatever you want to it, and, like, it's yours, I don't know. Do you not?
I do enjoy owning my car.
Yeah.
When you're a kid or when you're even an adult, one of your big goals is to, I'm going to buy that car that I've always wanted, or I'm just going to buy a car, correct?
Yeah.
And it's always a good feeling, especially for us petrol heads, gearheads, us car enthusiasts.
Car enthusiasts, Jeff. Yeah.
We like that feeling especially a lot because, we get it. We get to do what we want in it. We get to drive wherever we want in it. We get to crash it however we like.
Yeah, exactly. That's a big one.
And, because it's ours. It's a big investment, but it's ours.
That's a funny term, Jeff. Do you own a LaFerrari? Because that's an investment.
The thing is, okay, this idea of owning a car is kind of in danger.
Yeah, it is.
You read a lot of articles recently, and it says that a lot of people, especially in our generation, because we are the type of like, we like everything fast, quick, not expensive. A lot of people are more willing to go into like Uber or leasing a car, or even in the future, probably this kind of stuff. And I wanted to ask you, like, what do you feel about this?
The future of owning cars? Like, well,
Yeah.
Here's the thing. There's 2 thought processes. So, one is there'll be 2 ways to buy cars. That's what I think. One way will be the traditional way. You walk into a dealership and you haggle, and the guy's always trying to not lower his price on his car, and he's going to give you a great deal. It's $2,000 at MSRP when you know that car is worth $5,000 less than what he's asking, and you have to negotiate and work hard and act like, you know, you've done something when he actually gives you the deal, right?
Yeah. It's like, oh, great. I got the I got the price of the car that I should have paid for all along.
Exactly. So I think that's gonna be one way, and I think there's gonna be another way, the way you're talking about, like the membership thing, where you pay a flat rate per month, per year, whatever, and you can choose whatever car you want for a certain period of time. And I think it's gonna be for a certain type of people, because like if you look at our generation, Jeff, how many people do you honestly see who know how to like haggle, who know how to like buy a car, who know how to like, this is what they're asking, and I know it's worth this much based off of annual percentage rates and monthly whatever, and how much down you pay and all that stuff, right? Not many people know how to do that shit these days. It's just kind of like, why? Nobody wants to go through that hassle, and nobody, like, some people just don't want to deal with that shit. So for them, this new way of owning, quote unquote, owning a car will be better. But at the same time, the dealership lobbies, they're so big, they're so powerful. It's not going to go away that quickly, you know?
Going back into this conspiracy.
No, it's not conspiracy. They are big. Like, I mean, look how big they are. Like, how many dealerships and how many dealership groups and all that are around the country? They're so big. They're not going to go away anytime soon. Like, there has to be some huge disruption of how you buy cars in the market in order for that to go away. Because right now, they're just so big. Until, like, you know, the Apple of these, like, car membership things come out, you know, something that completely changes it, they're going to be around for a while.
That's true. That's true. I see. Speaking back to the whole our generation haggling thing, we don't do that. Well, at least most of us don't know how to do that.
Yeah.
Because, like you said, we don't want to go through that hassle of showing up to a dealership, taking a whole day. But the thing with that is that you, like you said, you get so much money off the car. For our generation, we like to just show up, buy something at what it says on the door, and take it home.
Yeah.
That's why companies like CarMax and Fair and Carvana are like springing up and people are liking them so much, is because you don't have to deal with that kind of stuff. And then you could even buy a car off your app, which I think is just wild.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, you just actually pay what they're asking or pay whatever it says.
and these used cars, you look on these websites and you're like, oh heck no, these are so expensive.
Yeah, but it saves you that hassle, you know?
Yeah, I think our generation is more willing to pay for that convenience, even though we can't really afford it.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, because everything's gone and inflated. But with that being said, that's going to give rise to this whole idea of a lot of people just like forget owning a car and going to this subscription service type deal.
Yeah.
Right? We've seen it with Volvo. They're doing Care by Volvo. You pay a monthly fee and like, I want that one. I'll take that one this month, or I'll take that one this month. But I really do feel like we might get to a point where your suburban home will be built without a garage.
Yeah, that's true. Possibly.
Especially with the rise of autonomous vehicles. I read an article, they were asking around, and more than half of people would be willing to give up vehicle ownership in exchange for autonomous vehicles. When I see it is that like people will like pay a fee to, I don't know who the companies will be by then, pay some money to them, and then you're like, you know, today I want car from this guy, please send a card and take me somewhere to go. That way I don't have to deal with keeping the car at home, it taking up space, doing the maintenance on it, doing the yada, 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 yada,
But
yada.
I also think there might be another way that is kind of like a combination of both that could happen in the future. And that's the Tesla method of selling cars, which is directly from the manufacturer. In Tesla, you don't haggle, you just pay the price they say. And that's because Tesla doesn't use, you know, third-party dealerships, they sell their cars directly. And this is something which I feel like more companies should do because they're in charge of selling the cars.
Yeah.
And that makes it easier also for the buyer, because like, all right, you want a freaking Mercedes S-Class, it's gonna be $98,000. That's it. No more, no less. You want the one with more packages, it becomes $100,000. That I feel like is something that will cater to the old school people and the new school people, where it's like, that's a set price, I'll pay that set price, but it has to do, the manufacturers have to make that happen, which is kind of tough because like how many dealerships are involved with, you know, each of these manufacturers and selling their cars and stuff. But I think, would it benefit the manufacturer if they sold it directly?
I mean,
because then when dealers have to basically buy the car from the manufacturer, right?
Yeah.
And they buy it at like a very discounted rate.
But then I think like the thing is, when you have dealerships for the car companies, they make the car and they sell it to the dealership, and it's their problem.
Yeah, and they don't have to worry about overhead of dealerships and stores and locations and employees.
Yeah, and when let's say when they do sell the car to the dealership, they've already made the money.
Yeah.
And they don't have to worry about, like, what if we don't sell all of these? What if we don't blah, 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 blah? What if we don't do this and that and that? Sorry about the jingling. That's my dog. So, I don't know. But I do feel like they could make more money, maybe, if they just sold them themselves.
Yeah, I mean it's more logistics for them to handle, and plus it's also kind of like a point where it's BMW. We already have these many dealerships established in this country. Now we have to actually go and do our own thing. It's like it's harder now,
Yeah.
But it could be a possibility, especially with like new car companies arising. If they sell their cars direct,
More of these older car companies are going to be like, okay, we're going to do that too, so we don't fall behind.
Yeah.
But I feel like for you and me, okay, we don't want to pay MSRP for a car. I feel like even if we go into a brand that's selling their car directly and it's like at a discounted price, in our head we're gonna be like, hey, what's the best price you could do?
yeah, exactly, right?
And it's gonna be like us
that's-
walking into a Target, getting an ice cream cone for $1.99. It's like, okay,
Yeah.
it's gonna be $1.99. It'll be like, what's the best you could do?
How about 150?
Yeah,
How about
150.
150?
150. You throw in the plastic bag, out the door price.
Yeah, dude, that's exactly what it's gonna be. We're still sir. We don't do that here anymore. All right, fine. You drive a hard bar 170, and you throw in the plastic bag.
No, sir, we can't do that. We're not that kind of business. Okay, fine.
All right, I see you.
I'm just gonna walk away. I don't want this ice cream cone no more. I'm
Here's
gonna go
my phone number. Give me a call if you want to sell me this ice cream later.
Yeah. Listen. You see, that Target over there gave me a better price.
Sir, go buy the ice cream from that Target then.
Excuse me. You know what? I see a little dent in this ice cream cone. How many accidents has it been?
Let me see the history report on that ice cream cone.
So yeah, we did that one time actually for buying my S2000. The dealership we were at was a dealership that was, our prices are low, so there's no haggling here. It's what you see on the door is what you get.
Yeah.
We got in there like, cool. So what's the best price you can get? The dealers are like, oh, come on.
Yeah.
But yeah, going back to the whole car ownership thing, right?
Uh-huh.
Owning a car is kind of a hassle,
Yeah.
right? Number one, you have to pay for the car.
Insurance.
Number two, you have to pay for insurance. Number three, you pay indirectly through depreciation.
Yeah.
You pay for the maintenance. You pay for the gas.
Registration.
You pay for the registration. Have it take up space in your garage.
And don't forget smog if your car is old too.
Oh yeah, you have to deal with smog, and then you have to deal with trying to get rid of it when you don't want it anymore. I feel like when people hear this, okay,
Yeah.
and they hear the alternative is have someone else deal with all that stuff, it's very appealing.
Yeah.
Right?
But then you're just like a baby. Why don't you have everyone else deal with your other problems in life too then? Why don't you have somebody wipe your ass too after you're done taking a shit? Why don't you have somebody brush your teeth for you too? Because it's a hassle, Jeff. It's a hassle to have your teeth. And you have to brush them every morning. And then why don't you have somebody else make your coffee? Well, you probably already have somebody else make your coffee. Go to Starbucks and shit. The money that you're spending at Starbucks, you could just be going and spending it towards owning a car. You save that money up for a year, boom, done, dude. There's your registration.
Do you think it's ever gonna reach that point though?
Where coffee costs as much as registration?
No, we've already reached that point.
Oh.
I meant like to a point where so little people own a car that it becomes a taboo thing to own a car yourself.
I think very long time. Very long time. Like not in our lifetime.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
good. That's good to hear because I don't want that.
Yeah. Who cares what happens when we're dead? you can do whatever the shit you want when we're gone.
It's not our problem. But yeah, I mean, like, for me, I would like to own my weekend car. The car that I could just drive around on the weekends. I want to own, I could customize, I could do mods on, whatnot. And maybe just, like, lease a daily commuter. That's my philosophy.
Yeah.
Do you feel like leasing is better than buying a car if you're not going to keep it? Like,
Depends on the car. If you're buying big German sedan, 5 Series, 7 Series, M5, S500, S550, S63 AMG, you're a lot better off leasing. Just because of how much initial depreciation they have. You lose almost 30% of the car in the first year.
Yeah.
So you're way
That's
better
bad.
off leasing those cars. Or buying them after a year and a half.
Even afterwards, if you like buy it new and if you keep it for all those years, you're gonna have some amount of money trying to maintain a big German car.
Yeah. That's why like whenever somebody like brand new buys a German car, I'm like, you just like don't give a shit, or like, you don't understand. Like you should not buy a brand new big German, because that thing is gonna be expensive either in depreciation or maintenance. I mean, most of these cars have the maintenance plans and whatnot, but you're just gonna get shafted by the depreciation, the initial depreciation. So I think in that situation, lease is better.
Okay, hold on, but I hate to bring this up though. What do you drive, Parth?
No, but see, it's not a big German.
Okay.
See, there's actually a difference. The 3 Series has the best least depreciation in the BMW lineup. It depreciates maybe 5 to 10%.
I was totally thinking we were following the standard Curbside podcast tradition.
No.
Don't do this except when but we're gonna do it anyway.
No. 3 Series is different because it's just those cars are more attainable, so more people buy them, so it's more wanted. So depreciation's less.
Ah, yes. That means more people should buy the 2 Series Grand Coupe, right? Because that's more attainable.
That car should just be like destroyed.
I just wanted to think about this topic for a bit because it's going to change a lot of things. Like even okay, let's say a lot of people do stop buying cars. Like even the manufacturers are going to hurt from that, right?
Yeah.
Like if they're not selling cars, some of them might go bankrupt.
Yeah, and then they have to go to something else. Then they have to make a new business scheme.
Yeah, exactly. And then I don't know, we might lose some, some of our beloved car companies. We'll see how this goes in the coming years. Hopefully not in our lifetime, but only time will tell. All right, let us jump into our break right now. Yeah?
Yeah.
Hey!
That was.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to our sponsored break. Last week, on the spot. I didn't notice this until I was editing, but by the end of the sponsored break, you made a sound that I did not understand.
Last week?
Yeah.
Yeah. What? I forgot what sound I made though. I remember I did make one.
Like a Tarnia.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's like, let's get back to the show. Anyway, what's the break this sponsored this week? Sorry.
Yeah, dude, we have so many sponsors. No, I'm just kidding. This week we're sponsored again by Sapien, which is a blockchain-based social network that rewards users for high-quality content with cryptocurrency. And you sign up today at www.sapien.network to start earning. So, yeah, I just baited you guys, dude. Same sponsor. We out here.
Anyway, I'm going to spend this time to do some shout-outs, too. I want to give a shout-out to, you guys, we have an Instagram page, by the way. It's called The Curbside Podcast. I wanna get a shout out to DPS_car spotting, who gave us a mention on his Instagram page. Thank you very much for supporting us and listening to our show. And I also want to give a shout out to my buddy Charles, who started listening to this show, and he actually really likes it. So thank you for that. And as always, we are sponsored by ourselves. You can check us out at thecurbsidepodcast.com. We have a blog there that we will try to update as many times as possible, and you could find, all the links to our things there. So check it out. Yeah. Anyway, with that being said, let's get back to the show.
Now that we got you loose, I can hear the birds waking early to sing, that is.
All right, Parth.
Hi.
We are back for the news.
Yeah,
you got any news?
Yes, I do.
What's the news?
Well, actually, I sent you the link.
Uh-huh.
Remember, I sent you this earlier this week. And
Yes, you did.
I saw this, and I was like, no way, dude. I was like, if they're actually doing this shit, that's insane. So what this headline said was, the 8 Series shooting brake will make you throw money at BMW. And I'm like, huh? 8 Series shooting brake? And first of all, it's not a shooting brake. A shooting brake is a 3-door. That's not a 3-door. Well, actually, it is a 3-door because the hatch is considered a door. But 2-door is a shooting brake. 4-door is an estate. So they got the headline wrong. It's basically an 8 Series estate, right?
Ooh,
and I saw that. I'm like, no way. BMW's making that thing, dude? And then you find out it's a rendering. And it's by X-Tomy Design. But, dude, that render? Dude, there's a render of an M8 version of that car? Bro, that's where BMW needs to be going, not this 2 Series bullshit, dude. If you guys have like some time, just look up X-Tomy 8 Series render estate. Yeah.
But like, here's the thing though, okay, Parth? Before they get to that, okay, BMW first has to go through this series, okay? They've got the 8 Series, which is a coupe.
Yeah.
That means they have to make the 8 Series Grand Coupe.
Which is already happening.
So then they could move on to the 8 Series Estate.
No, you forgot about the 8 Series GT.
Oh, that's right. The 8 Series GT, then the 8 Series Estate.
Yeah. There you go. But dude, that estate? Like, damn.
Why do they go out and make nonsense like the 2
Series Grand Coupe? I don't know.
Freaking.
But yeah, so that's the shit of it. I have another news though. It's actually kind of nice news.
Okay.
So a new Senate bill. So basically, drunk driving could be a thing of the past starting as soon as 2024. So a new Senate bill calls for onboard test equipment in every new car to prevent it from starting if driver's BAC is .08 or higher.
Oh.
So
really?
it's like the thing that you know like some people who get DUIs, they actually have to get this thing installed in their car, that you have to like blow in it to make sure you're not, .08 or higher in order for the engine to start. So they're calling that. So the Senate signed this bill. What they're trying to do with this is have that installed in every car. So every time before you start the car, it takes a BAC reading, and then it starts the engine.
That's good.
I think that's good, dude. Honestly.
I like that. Seriously, okay, guys. This is a curbside podcast PSA that should really be common sense. Don't drink and drive.
Seriously, dude. It's not worth it.
I have no kinder way of saying this. If you drink and drive, you're stupid and you're selfish.
The worst part is usually, Jeff, that these drunk drivers, they usually end up killing other people and they live.
Exactly. To put it bluntly, guys, if no matter how good of a driver you think you are, if you're impaired because of alcohol or because of anything, you're not going to be that driver you think you are. All you're doing is you're putting yourself in danger, you're putting other people at danger, and you're putting, the happiness of your family and other people's families at risk. Okay? It's should never be something you do.
Like this, I told you, like the things like these guys, like they don't end up you take out other people who are not involved. That's the worst part.
Yeah. Someone's kid that was just kind of like driving home from work or something gets hit, and no amount of punishment for the drunk driver is gonna ever make that up to the parent. Drunk drivers makes me angry. And
yeah, it does. But anyway, I hope this new system is implemented, and that it actually does help. I hope it becomes like a federal crime to like tamper with it in any way or something like that, I mean, it's a hassle, but like, I'd take that hassle. I hope they do it before 2024.
Why before 2024?
I mean, sooner than 2024.
Oh.
Not before. Why?
I was like, what's happening on 2024? Is everyone going out and drinking and driving 2024? Let's all get drunk and go driving January 1st, 2024.
Raid Area 51 drunk driving 2024. No, sooner than 2024.
Okay, it's just okay. Yeah, gotcha.
Because 2024, we still out here, dude. Almost 4 years, man. That's too many years.
That's true. It can't come soon enough. Parth.
Yeah.
Good news.
Tesla is bankrupt?
No, there's a new Volkswagen Golf.
Oh, is there?
Yeah. 2021 Volkswagen Golf came out.
2020 One VW Golf. Is it out?
Good question. But it's been revealed. I know that much.
I mean, it looks... The front end looks weird.
Yeah, that doesn't look much like a Golf on the front end.
I don't know about this one, Chief. Well, I mean, it's going to sell regardless, because it's Golf.
Yeah.
Golf's always sell.
It's a Golf.
Yeah.
It's the standard Golf. The new Golf came out, and it's a Golf. It looks like a Golf. It's a modern Golf.
Probably drives
All
like
right.
a Golf.
So this week, the Tokyo Motor Show is happening.
We're just going to leave the Golf like that? I mean, there's not much to talk about it, but all right.
To be honest, I'm not very interested in the Golf.
Okay.
I just thought I'd bring it up because you love the Volkswagen so much.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. But this week the Tokyo Motor Show was happening, and Tokyo Motor Show has always been one of my favorite auto shows of the year because it's Japan. Japan is fantastically weird in its own way. And that is reflected in their car culture.
Yeah.
One of my favorite things that happened at the Tokyo Motor Show this week is from Suzuki. Sadly, a car brand that we don't get anymore, but they came out with concepts called the Waku Waku concepts.
Waku Waku concept?
Yeah. So
What the hell is that?
So basically, what there's the Waku Waku concept. That term is used to define cars that will make you happy.
Okay.
That's it. So they came out with these two little cute little cars called one is called the Waku Spo.
Uh-huh.
It kind of looks like a little 2-seater micro retro car looking thing. If you guys look this up, it's an interesting little guy. I agree with them. I look at it, it makes me happy.
I guess.
And then there's also Suzuki also came out with the Hanare. Hanare in Japanese means detached cottage, and it's supposed to be a self-driving car that's so it's got no steering wheel or anything in it, and it looks like it could be your living room.
Yeah, it looks like a living room on wheels. It has 4-wheel steering though.
Yeah, exactly. And
it's a GT3.
yes, it's a warthog from Halo. And also, it's modeled after a K car. Do you know what a K car is, Parth?
No idea.
So a K car in Japan is the smallest car that could legally go on the freeway. Yeah, and usually these cars their engine max capacity 660 cc, and usually they're this. If you go to Japan, okay, one of my favorite things about the time I visited Japan was just the cars, just their everyday cars. You see them on the road because if you guys look up K cars, what you most likely will find is these tall, short little boxes. Imagine like the Nissan Cube or the Scion XB, but just even more short and stout. These things are everywhere. Every single Japanese car company makes one. And I just think they look hilarious all parked next to each other because you just see a bunch of boxes on the road.
Yeah.
They do make K cars that are sports cars too, though. That's why you have, the Daihatsu Kopen. You have the Honda S660. It's got a 660 liter engine, but it's mid-engined. And it's a 2-seater sports car. I mean, I know these cars won't work in the U.S., but I kind of wish they were here, just because they look funny. I mean, they're just everything in the Japanese market just seems so fun. Have you seen Suzuki's new off-roader?
No, dude, I haven't seen shit.
It's called the Jimny.
The Jimny?
Yeah.
How do you
Look
spell
it up.
Jimny.
Jiny.
Yeah. Nice.
It looks like a tiny little G-Wagon.
It does. I was like, what does this car remind me of? And you said G-Wagon. I'm like, there it is. That's the one.
I feel like sometimes car companies pull the plug too early, because Suzuki backed out of the car market here because, frankly, they weren't selling any cars. Yeah. But I feel like the Jimny would have done pretty well here.
Yeah, I guess.
Because honestly, that's the kind of car we want. We want an SUV. And it's boxy, and it's tiny, and,
cheaper than a G-Wagon.
Yeah, cheaper than G-Wagon, most likely cheaper than a Wrangler.
Imagine somebody driving around Beverly Hills in a Jimny. Like, yo, sick G-Wagon, bro.
Pull up next to it like the Jimny's as big as its wheel.
Yeah.
They should make a 6-wheel version of the Jimny.
No. What you do is you rebadge it. You put a Mercedes badge on it, put a G-Wagon badge on
Yes.
it, and then you go to Beverly Hills and you tell the Beverly Hills, because they don't know shit. Be like, yeah, this is the new G-Wagon. It's a smaller version, the Beverly Hills edition. And then everyone's gonna be like, I want that.
I'll pay $100,000 for that.
Yeah. Holy. Wait, Jeff, did you say they made a 6x6 or no?
No.
Somebody rendered a 6x6 Jimny.
No way. I'm gonna look this up. Where is it under, Para?
TheDrive.com 6x6 Jimny.
Yes. That's what we need.
What,
Guys,
is this
the article
thing
is
coming out?
called... I don't think so. This thing is called... This article is called Feast Your Eyes on This Breathtaking 6x6 Suzuki Jimny. And it looks like this render is done by someone called SRK Designs. So yeah, if you guys want to check that out, what we're talking about, that's a car I want.
That's a car I want, because then the Mercedes 6x6, you can't afford that shit, and you can't even buy it because they were like 10 made or something. I'd get this, a 6x6 Jimny, dude.
Right, and then the best thing about the Jimny is you'll show up in this 6x6 Jimny, okay?
Yeah.
And you'll pull up next to a normal sized G-Wagon, and it'll still probably be smaller
Yeah,
than the
still
G-Wagon.
probably smaller. Yeah.
I need one of these in my life. This is on the wish list. Suzuki, come back to the States, build this, and
Sell for like $25,000.
yeah, exactly. Everyone will buy one.
Yeah. Promise.
That's a Curbside Podcast Promise, aka not a promise at all.
Yeah.
All right, Parth, in other news, do you remember when we were talking about Mazda and the rotary engine?
Yes.
And how it might be part of a hybrid drivetrain?
Yes.
So Mazda came out with their very own electric car for the first time.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it's an SUV called the MX-30. It looks like kind of a Mazda, CX-3 with a
Bro, it has
shrunken...
RX-8 suicide doors.
Exactly.
Bro. It's basically an RX-8 crossover.
Yes, it kind of seems like an RX-8 crossover, and it's fully electric, but there is going to be reportedly a range extender in the form of a rotary engine.
Nice. God damn it.
So our nightmare has been confirmed.
Yeah, but I'm hoping they actually do come out. I think they'll still come out with a car that's actually rotary powered. I think so.
This is the other piece of good news, okay? So someone was speaking to the design boss of Mazda, and this is what he said, okay? He says the rotary engine is still our dream. And he's like, I understand the clock is ticking and the environment can change. We just have to see if the future environment will accept a sports car with open arms. So we understand we are racing against time.
No, we will. That's another Curbside Promise, Mazda. It'll be accepted with open arms. Everyone will have one. Everyone will want one. Its prices will increase like a LaFerrari, but trust us.
Yes, the two cars everyone will buy is a 6x6 Suzuki Jimny and a Mazda RX-9 or something. That's everyone's garage in the future.
We here at the Curbside Podcast are very informed with the customer buying shit. Yes, sir.
Welcome to the Curbside Podcast, where we're just full of bullcrap all the time.
Yeah, and we make empty promises. I hope we don't get sued. Like some car company one day listens to us, we're like, yeah, all right, let's do it, and then boom, done.
Full disclosure, these are not real promises. We don't know anything about the market. Don't sue us, please. Okay, some other things that came out of the Tokyo Motor Show real quick are the new Honda Fit / Jazz came out. I don't know how interested you are in that part.
Like 0%.
Well, I'm interested because
No, you talk about it.
because
you informed them. I'm not even gonna look that shit up, man.
you don't have to. It kind of looks like the old one, but the thing is, it's that it it might not be coming to the States, which
Thank God.
I'm sure you
Thank God.
But I think it's a crying shame, okay? Because this car it's a tiny little, hatchback looking thing. Americans don't buy hatchbacks, but unlike other hatchbacks, it's like a mini van, okay? Like you could fit if you put roof racks on this, you could probably fit a grand total of 4 bicycles on it. The fact that you could cram 4 bicycles into something as big as a toaster is fantastic. People have turned this thing into campers. Okay, because of that magic seat design and whatnot, and you could fold the seats all the way back and make it into a bed and whatnot. It's a very, very versatile car, and it's gonna be coming out in a bunch of different trims. For those of you who want to know and are interested in this,
Nobody cares.
Low life Parth here.
Nobody listening to this podcast actually cares about that.
Probably not, but they're coming out with a hybrid version, off-roady looking clad
You done yet?
type version. You got
We've
the
been
little,
on a fit for a long time.
you got
now.
a little they have a version sporty version called the Fit.
I apologize to all the listeners for Jeff's ineptness in providing quality content news to you.
Freaking, this is the guy who brought up something. I forgot what it was.
Yeah, exactly. Talk shit? What?
All right, Parth, you got any better news then?
No, man. I already gave you the best news.
You mean a fake news?
What fake news?
Fake news of fake cars called the 8 Series Estate that, honestly I wish would
I also
happen,
showed
but
you another one, which is a 6x6 freaking Suzuki.
That's true, which is also fake news, but it's all fake news that we were hoping.
Well, this is a week of fake news.
Welcome to the Curbside Podcast.
Yeah, exactly. Some people point at us and say, they're fake news. And yes, sir. Yes, sir,
Yes,
we are.
We
Especially this
stand
week.
by it proudly. With that being said, we are at the end of our show. We'll leave you off with that we are fake news.
Yeah, exactly. That's the news for the day. That we are fake news. We make false promises and we give you news that doesn't really matter.
All right, as always, guys, thanks for listening to our show. You could find us, as always, at thecurbsidepodcast.com, where there's a link to our Libsyn page, where you could find the links to all our other platforms like Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, TuneIn, Google Podcasts. You can even find our Instagram there at The Curbside Podcast, and our Twitter page, which is at The Curbside Pod, and also our Facebook page, The Curbside Podcast, also. And we have a YouTube channel that I am not uploading to right now because I don't have a video editing program that works right now. So once that gets up and going, I'm sorry, but I will get stuff uploaded to that YouTube channel. Thanks to Kid Dope for letting us use his song Fast Cars and Wild Hearts as the intro and outro of our program. And as always, I am Jeff.
And I'm Parth.
Drive safe and
Don't get a DUI.
yeah, don't do that. Definitely don't do that. Drive safe, don't drink and drive, and remember, life is too short to drive boring cars.
Bye.